Hey everyone, welcome back to another Ohio Tech Day episode where we are having a conversation with more high school students that are really interested in doing some great work in the fields of technology and innovation. And so today we're recording and talking on this video with two students from INTERalliance, which is a fantastic nonprofit based in Cincinnati, serving Southwestern Ohio, helping to inspire students to consider IT and technology careers. And so I'm Chris Berry. I'm the president and CEO of OhioX, and we're hosting Ohio Tech Day this year. We have a bunch of great schools and companies and nonprofits that are doing their own celebrations. And so we're really thrilled to welcome, as I mentioned, two students from INTERalliance, which is a fantastic OhioX partner. So Rishi, I'd love to start with you and welcome you to our virtual stage today as we're talking with students across the state of Ohio. Share a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and why you got involved with INTERalliance.
Yeah, thank you so much. My name is Rishi Maguluri. I'm a senior at Mason High School. And a fun fact about me is I've actually listened to 2,000 minutes of Travis Scott in the last month. So, yeah, I love Travis Scott.
And
Rishi,
I
I also love
you?
INTERalliance. So,
yeah. How are you keeping track of 2,000? Are you using technology for that?
Oh, I have an app. I downloaded an app, yeah, and I paid for it. So,
that's great.
Yeah, I also love INTERalliance. So, I got into INTERalliance because last year's COO actually was one of the people that told me about it. And I was looking to pursue a career in IT. I was taking all the computer science classes our school had to offer, but I didn't really know how to expand my IT background. And this person, our COO from last year, Ashlyn, she actually told me about INTERalliance and told me it was a great way to work more with CS, work more with entrepreneurship stuff, which is another thing I'm also interested in. So so I joined the INTERalliance Leadership Council, which is a select team of 30 students from across the Cincinnati area. And so I went from being the entertainment director and a member of the programs team, and now I'm the chief operations officer. So, yeah.
That's great. Well, I can see the entertainment director, Travis Scott, and keeping stats on how long you're listening to his music. But Tejas, if you'd like to do an introduction of yourself and share a little bit about who you are and your background with INTERalliance.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm also a senior. I go to Walnut Hills High School. And this is currently my third year as a member of INTERalliance and the Leadership Council. And so how I kind of first got involved with INTERalliance was actually my school has a chapter of INTERalliance, a programming club. And we actually participate in a lot of the INTERalliance programs on a monthly basis, but also the main thing being creating a showcase project that we actually present to a group of judges. So I first got involved just making a showcase project, which was a virtual hall pass app for our school. And then from there, I kind of learned more about what INTERalliance actually is, what this organization in the background is doing, and was interested and actually applied to join the Leadership Council and kind of organize those events like Tech Olympics. And so now I've, for the last 2 years, been able to work as the chief data officer, working in the back end to make sure we have all of our students and educator contacts up to date and kind of keeping everything in the background straight.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, and let's stay with you because I'd love to learn how you decided to get into tech and what made you interested about technology type careers. Because you're certainly both, really involved with INTERalliance now. But what was that initial spark? What got you interested in technology and kind of, made you think about it as something you wanted to really start exploring more on?
I think for me personally, it was just playing with video games and just games when I was younger and up to this day. It's something that I just enjoy doing in my free time. And so I always wondered how people could make this, how this was even possible for me to have so much fun doing. And from there, I kind of began learning how to code and kind of create my own games, using JavaScript. And so that was a really cool experience. And from there, I think that really kind of opened up my eyes to the possibilities beyond just game development and all of the other things that the field had to offer.
That's great. Rishi?
For me, I didn't completely see tech as my for sure career path until last year. I wanted to make some money. So what I did is I found a way so I could tailor AI chatbots to companies. And me and my friend, we went around just going to different businesses in Lebanon and across the Cincinnati area. And we pitched them our idea hey, we'll sell you this AI chatbot that we'll tailor to your company, and it'll be way cheaper than big businesses businesses do. And then like, so we made some money off that. Like we're making monthly money off that. And after I saw that, I was like, two things. Like one, I love like putting myself out there. And two, I love like working with technology as well. So like, I want to find a career where I can combine the two. But like, yeah, that was what truly got me into like pursuing a career in tech.
Yeah. And I bet, an entrepreneurial story, right? Where you built a piece of technology and were able to sell it. And that's really incredible because, something like that, you can scale that pretty well, right? Where if you go out and sell it to one business, you can sell it to two, you can sell it to three. But if you're doing something like getting a job at a, McDonald's, and I worked at a car wash as a student, but I only got paid for however many hours I was there, and it was a great job and I loved it. But I'm sure once you sell it, you're making some monthly recurring revenue. So it's probably a pretty cool high school job to have where you're making some money each and every month. And, it's just, that's an incredible story and background. So would love to kind of, ask you both, and Rishi, we'll start with you first this time. You talked about kind of what inspired you both, and maybe it was video games, maybe it was a business opportunity you saw. But what's something that leaves you excited about the future of technology? So as you think as high school seniors going off to do something post-college or post-high school, maybe it's college, maybe it's enter the workforce, what is something that really interests you or excites you as you consider technology as a career field in the years to come?
Yeah, definitely. So I just love like AI in general. Like a lot of the stuff I've done in high school, like I've created AI based like AI assisted learning plans for students to like help like education wise, like to help better their test scores. Again, I've sold AI chatbots. I just love the idea of AI and specifically using it for good. Like I hate that like whenever someone thinks of AI now, they think of people using ChatGPT to do their English assignments. I want to like what truly like makes me passionate is like using AI and using technology for good. Like I want to use it to like this past summer, I gave a presentation in Washington, D.C. about like how we can use AI and technology for good and how like I was just trying to demystify that like that just like stereotype that can only be used to like again cheat on your English assignments. Like every time I bring up AI to like an adult or a teacher, I just hear like just negativity all around it. Like we actually got to go to Senator J.D. Vance's office, and I asked one of his representatives about AI, and all he said was like, he gave me an answer about how AI is used like in like, I mean, like he gave that exact answer. Like AI is used like for not good reasons, not good purposes, and yeah, I just want to like be able to use AI in education for good. I want that to be my career field.
That's great. And Tejas, what about you?
I think for me, it's really the amount of different applications that technology has in the real world. Like just I feel like in every different field. So like just at my school, I know like entrepreneurship would involve using AI to make different software applications, but there's also applications in healthcare and even more just coming because of AI, just like Rishi mentioned. And so I feel like that's something that's been really exciting to me. And through INTERalliance, I've been able to sort of explore that even further just because of the internship opportunities that INTERalliance offers high school students. So personally for me, this past summer, I got the amazing opportunity to intern at Procter & Gamble. And so I could kind of see, working in supply chain, I could kind of see the connections between the world of business and all of the data that they get and technology, and how I can use all of that data to kind of generate analytics and kind of help the business on my end. So it isn't necessarily just Silicon Valley and everything that people might normally associate technology with in like California. It's also just every business has that need for using technology, not necessarily just tech companies.
Yeah, and that's a great point where, as we like to say in our work, that every company is a tech company, and whether that's a school and students, Rishi, to your point, maybe using ChatGPT, you shouldn't use it to write your entire English paper, but what you can use it is to help you with outlines or kind of thinking through, or you put it in and say, hey, I wrote this, like, tell me why this is really good or tell me why it's really bad, using it as a tool. I remember when I was in high school, Wikipedia was a newer thing, and it was something that you couldn't use to copy and paste, but what you could do is use it to kind of help you find a bunch of information on a topic and go down to the bottom and find all the citations and then go to all the different media sources and kind of help you along. It was a co-pilot. And Tejas, that's kind of to your point where, kind of the career exploration. when you're at these companies, they're using these things, and they're using things like ChatGPT and other generative AIs in this case to help them do their work better and faster and smarter. And so I love that real world application. And maybe I'd love to hear, both of you on, why you wanted to get involved with an organization that was really focused on helping expose high school students to tech internships in high school. Because typically, and certainly when I was growing up, you had to wait until you were in college and maybe your sophomore or junior year to get real world experience at a company like Procter and Gamble. And so Tejas, maybe talk a little bit about, what it was like as a high school student going into your senior year of high school, working at one of the biggest companies in the world, doing technology.
Yeah, definitely. I think at first it was 100%. It was super intimidating to be like a high school student and walk into this massive downtown office building that I've never seen before. See a bunch of people in professional attire, like walking around, probably thinking like, who is this kid? Why is he here? But I think as I went through that summer, I kind of saw something, I guess, in myself where I began to feel more and more at home and more and more confident in what I was doing. Because obviously, just like anyone else, I was there for a reason. I wasn't just like standing there because. So I think that was a big confidence boost for me, and I think it's important as a high school student to seek out like these kind of opportunities that you wouldn't necessarily like traditionally find in like internships, for example, for technology. And so I think that's just one of the great things about INTERalliance and one of the programs that they have, giving high school students the opportunity to intern at a lot of the major companies in Cincinnati, because the leaders at those companies actually like realize that there is talent in high school students in the area that they want to attract, and they want to make sure that they're like retaining that talent in the future.
Yeah, that's great. And Rishi, as we're starting to wind down this conversation, what's a piece of advice you'd give a fellow high school student that maybe has interest in a tech career or doesn't quite know how to start the process of discovering what might be available? Because tech is a lot of different things. It can be software development, it can be coding, it can be working for a tech company, but in a non-tech role like marketing. So there's just so much variety, whether it's AI or cybersecurity as a couple more examples. So how would you, maybe recommend to another high school student that is interested in tech, but isn't quite sure to where to begin, how they can start the process?
So I'd say just two simple things. The first one is outreach. So like whenever I'm applying to something or like want to like know like information about a program or just anything in general, I'll go on Instagram and I'll DM like 100 people, or I'll go on LinkedIn and I'll just like message like just a ton of people, because I feel like people who have like already gone through this process, they already know exactly what to do. And that's exactly how I found out like my next tip, which is just doing a project. Like the way I found out if I wanted to like go further into coding is I found a project that I truly wanted to do that like interested me, and I did it at my own pace. And by like doing something that I truly wanted to do rather than like a class that's like structured, whereas yes, you may learn some stuff, I don't think in a class you get to see like if you're truly passionate about it as much as if you do like a passion project on your own. So I think like like networking and outreaching to people that like have experience in the field or like in tech in general, like seeing like how they got interested in it and how you can, and then working on your own personal passion project.
Yeah, that's great. Tejas?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it is really important to get involved and kind of pursue that passion that you have, or just see whether that is something you're interested in pursuing with activities or extracurriculars outside of the traditional like classroom environment. For me, one of those things that kind of also helped me like gain my interest in technology was my school's robotics team. So although there's a lot of like engineering and build and design that we do that is a lot of fun, I think for me the programming aspect of that was probably the most interesting, and really got me the most engaged in technology. And that's something that I've carried over, the not just the skills from that, but also just the experience of working with a team and getting to do that, which I never would have had in my like school classroom.
Yeah, well, that's great. And gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and sharing a little bit about your interest in technology and tech careers, your work with INTERalliance, which is a really fantastic nonprofit organization that's doing a great job of getting more high school students interested in IT careers. Just want to thank you both for sharing a little bit of your work and your story with hopefully a bunch of students from across Ohio as we think about building the Silicon Heartland and creating a true tech opportunity in Ohio. So grateful for both of your times today, and just thanks so much again for sharing your stories.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.